Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In this video, we will discuss about the next or the second type of a statement or second type of financial statement, which is called balance sheet. So now it can be asked as a question that what is balance sheet, right? And also, of course, we could call it as a position statement as well. So the question is, what is balance sheet? A simple definition is given here. A balance sheet is a statement that provides information regarding financial position of a business at a specific date and contain three things: contain asset, contain liabilities, as well as what? Capital. So what is balance sheet? Balance sheet, which also we can call it position statements. It provides information regarding financial position of a business at a specific date. This point is very important. It provides information at a specific date, not for a given period of time. این فقط بر تو نشان میده که دینامیک زمان فقط در سال در روز 30 اپریل ببخشید در روز 30 دسامبر یا 31 دسامبر آخرین روز فاینانشل پوزیشن بزنس به چی حالت بوده. یعنی financial position چی معنی میده؟ It means how much asset is owned by the business, how much liability is payable by the business, and how much capital is owned by owner of the business. نشان میده که در این تاریخ چقدر دارایی داشتین، چقدر سرمایه داشتین و چقدر قرضایتون بوده. درست است؟ So this can be called as what? Balance sheet. Once again, what is balance sheet? Balance sheet is a statement which provides information regarding financial position of a business at a specific date. And it includes asset, liabilities و capital. سه چیز در بر داره: asset، liability و capital. و چی را نشان میده؟ financial position نشان میده. financial position را در یک زمان خاص. financial position بازم گفتم که چی معنی میده؟ What do you mean by financial position? Financial position simply means how much asset, liability and capital is owned by the business. Balance sheet is divided into two sides, or it's into two parts. Or a balance sheet has two sides. And the condition is that both sides should be equal. Both sides of the balance sheet should be equal. It has two sides and both sides should be equal. So first one is asset side. Asset side like you have studied under accounting terminologies. Asset is divided into two types. Then it can be a type of current asset, or as well as it can be a type of non-current asset. And we know the example of all these. And the other side of balance sheet, this was first side. The other side of the balance sheet, this one, liability side, which liability include the liability itself plus owner equity. Okay? So we can say balance sheet has two sides. One side is called asset side and the other side is called what? Liability side. And the same like the previous one, liability is also divided into two types: current liability and non-current liability. So if I summarize once again, what is balance sheet? Balance sheet means the statement which record all assets, liabilities, and capital and show the financial position of the business at a specific date. It has two sides and both sides should be equal. One side we record all assets, which can be current asset and non-current asset, and on the other side we record liability plus owner equity, and the liability itself is divided into two types: current liability and non-current liability. This is a simple format of a balance sheet. This is the format of balance sheet. As I said before, see, from the middle it is divided into two parts. One side is capital plus liability, one column for that one, and the next one column for the amount. On the other side also, we have two columns, one column for asset and one column for the amount of this one. So basically we have four columns, but it is divided into two parts, or from the middle was divided into two parts. Two columns on the left side and two columns on the right side, right? So this is the case. So on the right side, so on the left side, we have capital plus liability, and this is the amount. On the other side, we have asset and one column for amount. So it doesn't matter whether liability, whether asset is recorded on this side or whether capital and liability is recorded on this side. فرق نمیکنه که بعضی کمپانی‌ها نظر به بعد استاندارد کپیتال لایبیلیتی این طرف نشته میکنه، بعضیا این طرف نشته میکنه. هیچ کدوم مشکل نداره، دو سایت با هم چی هست؟ مساویه. چطور فرمتش هست؟ یک فرمت گرفتیم به طور مثال. first of all you have to mention all current asset. تحت asset چون asset به دو بخش تقسیم میشد، انواعش نشته میکنیم که current asset، right? Then mention number of current assets. For example, cash is current asset, account receivable is current asset, short-term loans current asset. Several current asset. If you have, just mention all of these. كلش چی کو نشته کو و غیره و غیره. اگر هر چیز یاد باشه نشته کرده برو. قیمتایش نشته کو مجموعش به طور مثال چند میشه؟ به طور مثال مجموعش میشه 50,000 به طور مثال مجموعش میشه. این مجموعی چی شد؟ مجموعی current asset. اونمو کارا در قسمت income statement که میکردن اول revenue رو نشته میکردن با توتالش. In the same case, in the case of same thing in the case of in the case of asset. So under asset side, number one mention current asset, then mention several type of current asset, and then find out the total. And then mention non-current asset, then mention different types of non-current asset. And after that, mention or find out the total of this one. Then find out the total of both. Total of both means total of current asset plus total of non-current asset. And this is the total. Suppose total of this one is 50,000 and total of this one is 60. 50 plus 60 become 50 plus 60 become 1,10,000. The same case on the other side. On the capital side, the initial item is basically we start with this one, with the capital. امروی چی؟ ایره میگیریم به نام initial or opening capital. اول initial یا opening capital تا نوشته میکنن، مقدارش در اینجا نوشته نکنن، در اینجا نوشته کنن. Initial capital suppose 40,000 plus add net profit. اگر در جریان سال در income statement دیدن که فایده کردن، فایده تون یا چی کنن؟ نوشته کنن. اگر دیگه با نقص کرده بودن، با نقص بجای ازی که با add کنن فایده را، چون فایده نیست نقص است، نه؟ نقص باز چی کنن ازش؟ کم کنن و ماینس میشه. add additional capital. اگر آنها در جریان سال مقدار سرمایه دیگه معرفی کرده بود، دورم چی کنن؟ نمره زیاد کنن. اگر آنها در جریان سال برداشت کرده بود، با دور ازش چی کنن؟ ازش کم کنن. So 40,000 plus 10 become 50. 50 plus یا کلش دو تا جمع میشه، نه؟ 50 plus this one become 64. 64 minus 8,000 become how much? 40, 50, 56,000. ایره نشته کنن در کالم. ایره با نام چی میکنه؟ با نام ending capital. Initial capital was 40. We made profit during the year, and owner introduced additional capital. Owner but made some drawing. Finally, the ending capital is equal to how much? 56,000. ایره پیدا کنن. در حقیقت اینمی طرف لایبیلیتی ساید به سه بخش تقسیم میشه. و چند بخش تقسیم میشه؟ سه بخش. اول میگیریم چی را؟ کپیتال پیدا میکنیم. بعد که کپیتال پیدا کردن، بخش دوم شما میرین چی را پیدا میکنیم؟ مجموعه okay, let me mention two. I cannot mention. Yeah, now it's good. بخش دوم چی را نوشته میکنین؟ current asset را نوشته میکنین. current liability را. هر چقدر current liability داشتین، یک تا دو تا، چون یه جای کمتر است، مثلا دو تا نوشته کردین. تعدادش چی کردین؟ دو نوشته کردین. 25 جمع مجموعش چند میشه؟ 30,000. این را نوشته کنین به نام چی؟ total current liability. بازی که current liability را نوشته کردن، برین طرف سوم، ایتم سوم چی را نوشته کنین؟ نوشته کنین که non current liability. درسته؟ So non current liability هر چقدر تعدادش که بود نوشته کنین. به طور مثال من یه تانا فکر کنم که دو تا داشتم، این را نوشته کردم. این حالا در سومش یا در چهارم این توتالش پیدا کرده میشه. با در آخرش چی نوشته میکنیم؟ total liability plus capital. چطوری را پیدا میکنیم؟ یک liability plus دیگه liability. 24 چند میشه؟ 54. 54 56 چند میشه؟ 1,10,000. درست است؟ در آخر عرضه‌اش باز جمع میکنیم. 1 plus 2 plus 3. این توتال عرضه‌اش چی میشه؟ یک جمع. پس اینی از فرمت بالانس شیت. باز یک بار تشریح میکنم. So balance sheet has two sides. If we go like this, so one side is asset side, on the other side is liability plus capital. See, the same thing is here. One side is capital plus liability, and the next side is asset. So asset divided into two types: current asset and non-current asset. First of all, mention current asset and then find out the total, and then mention non-current asset and then find out the total. So then total of current asset plus total of non-current asset become total of asset, right? One case. And the second thing, go on this side, capital plus liability. Initially, you have to find out capital. So how to find out that one? Initial capital plus if there is any profit in income statement, add this one. If there is any loss, minus. If there is additional capital introduced, so add that one. If there is any drawing, so minus that one. یک توتالش رو جمع کنی، چیزی که بعد اسمیه به نام چی است؟ ending capital. بخش اولش خلاص. بخش دومش current liability هر چقدر دارن نوشته کنن و بخش سوم non current liability هر چقدر دارن توتالش چی پیدا کنن. بازی که ارزش پیدا کردن، یکی جمع دو جمع سه. باید ای ساید شرطش اینه است که ای ساید باید با ای ساید چی باشه؟ مساوی. اگر مساوی بود میگم financial position of the company is good, otherwise it means there is some problem. So please follow the next videos for solving questions. Thank you.